thank you all. I very much appreciate it. And again, I understand. With that being said, I'm going to ask for the alternates to be brought. And just let me know.
All rise. Court is back in session.
Okay, we can have the judge now. Okay, everyone can be seated. Thank you. Mr. Foreman, I received a note at 1:54 p.m. It indicated that we have reached a verdict. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that includes all counts?
All counts.
Okay. All right, so we've marked that as CJ-6, the communication between the court and the jury. So I'm going to go through each one of the questions with you one by one, and you'll just answer the question after I read it, okay? All right. If you don't mind, can you stand for me? Unless you're uncomfortable. Do you have your verdict sheet?
No.
Okay, do you want to get that?
Yes.
All right. As long as he has his, you guys don't all need yours. Okay, sir, we'll start from the top. All right. How do you find as to count one of the indictment charging the defendant, Paul Caneiro, with the murder of Keith Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement from another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crimes of murder?
Yes.
Count 2. How do you find as to count 2 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the murder of Jennifer Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
No.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement for another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crimes of murder?
Yes.
3. How do you find as to count 3 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the murder of Jesse Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did defendant Paul Caneiro commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning that defendant actively or directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
No.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement for another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crime or crimes of murder?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while Jesse Caneiro was less than 14 years old?
Yes.
Count 4. How do you find as to count 4 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the murder of Sophia Caneiro?
Guilty.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the homicidal act by his own conduct, meaning the defendant actively and directly participated in the homicidal act?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder in expectation of the receipt of anything of pecuniary value?
No.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder for the purpose of escaping detection, apprehension, trial, punishment, or confinement for another offense or offenses committed by him, the defendant?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while he was engaged in the commission of or an attempt to commit the crime or crimes of murder?
Yes.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro commit the murder while Sophia Caneiro was less than 14 years old?
Yes.
Count 5. How do you find as to count 5 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the felony murder of Jesse Caneiro?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 6 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the felony murder of Sophia Caneiro?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 7 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with aggravated arson as to the structure of 15 Willowbrook Road, Colts Neck?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 8 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with aggravated arson as to the structure of 27 Tilton Drive, Ocean Township?
Guilty.
Count 9. How do you find as to count 9 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with possession of a firearm for unlawful purpose?
Guilty.
Count 11. How do you find as to count 11 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with possession of a knife for an unlawful purpose?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 12 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with the unlawful possession of a knife?
Guilty.
How do you find as to count 13 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with theft?
Guilty.
Indicate the value of the pecuniary benefit the defendant received from the misapplication.
Check number 1.
All right. So it's $75,000 or more.
Yes.
Okay. How do you find as to count 14 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with misapplication of entrusted property?
Guilty.
Did the defendant Paul Caneiro derive a pecuniary benefit from the misapplication?
Yes.
Indicate the value of the pecuniary benefit the defendant received from the misapplication.
1. 75,000 or more.
Okay, thank you. Count 15. How do you find as to count 15 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with hindering one's own apprehension or prosecution?
Guilty.
Count 16. How do you find as to count 16 of the indictment charging the defendant Paul Caneiro with hindering one's own apprehension or prosecution?
Guilty.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You can be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the foreman go through each one of the charges and indicated the verdict as to all of you. At this point in time, I'm going to ask the deliberating jurors. I'm just going to go by your seat number. That's it. And I'm just going to ask, do you agree with the entire verdict as was read by your foreman, juror number 1? Okay. Juror number 2.
Agreed.
Juror number 3.
Agreed.
Juror number 4.
Agreed.
Juror number 5.
Agreed.
Juror number 6.
Agreed.
Juror number 7.
Agreed.
Juror number 9.
Agreed.
Juror number 10.
Agreed.
Juror number 12.
Agreed.
Juror number 13.
Agreed.
And juror number 14.
Agreed.
Okay. Our jury has been polled. Is there any reason for the attorneys to approach the bench?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor at this point in time. I'm just going to ask for you to go into the jury room for a minute. All of you, you can all go in. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking up. I apologize. Okay. Mr. Caneiro, at this point in time, you no longer are presumed to be innocent. You have been convicted by a jury of your peers under 3:21-4A. You will now be detained and committed to the custody of the Commissioner of MCCI pending sentence. Your sentence will be scheduled for May the 12th, 2026, which is a Tuesday, and that is at 8:30 a.m. I will also, as a part of this, just so that the record is clear, as it relates to any motion for a new trial under 3:20-2, that there are 10 days from today's date for a motion for a new trial, which would be February 23rd. If the defense decides to file a motion for a new trial, the defendant's brief, I want everyone to have it now, will be due on March 16th, 2026 by 4:30 p.m. The state's response would be due by April the 6th, 2026 by 4:30 p.m. And the hearing date would be scheduled for April 20th, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. So again, if a motion is filed, those are the dates so that we do not have to come back for a briefing schedule. I'm giving it to you now. so that we're all on the same page. At this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to excuse the jury, and then I will excuse everyone from the back. All right, so I just ask everyone to stay put for a minute, but I wanted to at least get that finished and put on the record.
You grab all your stuff?
Yes, you can grab everything. No. Back in here. Okay. Everybody can be seated. Sorry, there was just something I had to handle before I excused you. So first and foremost, obviously, let me thank you. I've tried to do that a few times during the course of this, but at this point in time, now I lose control of you. You lose control of me, which is probably good for you. You don't listen to me anymore. But I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the time that you have put into this from the week of January the 5th. Some people on this jury were here on that first day and have been here throughout the entire time. Our system of justice, if you remember what I said in the beginning, fails without people like yourselves for taking the time to sacrifice your time so that our system of justice can have jurors to come in and to render decisions on cases just like this. So the fact that you did that, and you did it, all of you did it with such professionalism, with dedication. I watched you each and every day. I told you before that you all paid attention. You very much were focused on the task at hand. And I commend all of you for what you've accomplished here, which is to render a decision as to this difficult case. That's number one. Number two, I said this to you before. I do my best to try to keep matters calm and here with some humor here and there. There's no humor in any of this, and everyone knows that. And I think I've said that before, but I say it again now so that you understand. I only do it because I understand the impacts that it has, and I wanted to make sure that you understood, that I understood where you were coming from, and I tried to do that by keeping things calm. The third thing that I want to say is that at this point in time, I now lose control. And when I say that, as you leave here at the courthouse today, obviously you weren't allowed to know anything about what was going on in the real world as it related to this case for an extended period of time. I want to remind you, everything that happens in that jury room, that's the sanctity of that jury room. That should be left there. I can't force you to not say anything, but I have to make sure that you understand. If for some reason you decided to either to speak out to the media or speak out to anyone else, if you say something there that has an impact on what happened here, then I'm going to have to bring you back, and I'm going to have to question you as it relates to whatever that you may or may not have said. I don't say that to threaten you or in any way. I just need you to understand the truth, that would be something that I would need to do to make sure that that process, that whatever went on in there, only you control what happened in there, and that's it. So I suggest you not to do that. Obviously, you'll be talking to your family and friends, and you can do that at this point. That's no problem at all. But I just remind you of that issue that could come up if you decide to speak to the media. It's publicized, and then ultimately there may be a question that I may have to ask you about that. So other than that, again, you'll now be leaving. I want to say thank you. I appreciate all of your time. If I'm the lucky one, maybe I'll see you in 3 years when I send you a new notice to come back. Otherwise, I really appreciate all your time and effort. Thank you very, very much.
So not only does he have corny jokes, he's a hater too. He like don't he like he like don't go out here doing no interviews because you say the wrong thing. I may have to bring you back in here because they're gonna think the jury was tainted. Oh boy, he's so corny. Sparky, get it in. Dang, Sparky. Yeah, I think it's May 12th, Derek. Okay, so they filing out of the courtroom. I don't know if they gonna show us handcuffs or not. Let's see. Well, I guess no, Derek. Oh no, yeah. Oh well, depending on how they do their sentencing. Sometimes they let them come to court after sentencing instead of orange with something else. Why he still standing? I don't know what they waiting on. I'm trying to see. Run, Forrest, run. I'll be running. Hmm. I don't know what he doing. I'm assuming that they still waiting for people to go out. Yeah, Sparky done said something to him. There they go again. I'm trying to see if they gonna handcuff him. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Get the gloves on. Act like you about to do. I don't know. You need all of that to handcuff somebody. Make sure that they ain't doing no drainage search. Y'all, they can do that in the back. Okay, here it go. You got the yellow ones.